What is up, my fellow YouTubers? John with SoCal Outdoor Adventure. It's great to be back with you. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a knife that I haven't really done a review on. And the reason for that is because, I was disappointed in the first knife. I decided not to do a review on the second knife, but I haven't used it in so long. It was actually my second bushcraft knife, I guess I would consider it to be useful. And that is the Grylls Ultimate Pro Knife. So stick around. So this is a video that I kind of was on the brink about wanting to do for a long time, because my first ever knife that I ever had, honestly, was the Grylls Ultimate Knife, and it was a partial tang knife that had serrated edging, and then of course you had the straight edge blade. Unfortunately, with that particular knife, I broke it, and it was an accident. Now, what happened was I was trying to chop through a tree. I hit the knife too hard on the handle, and because it got stuck in the wood, and I broke it, unfortunately, and it was stupid of me. I should never have done that. But in the midst of all that, another knife from Grylls came out, and that was the Grylls Ultimate Pro Knife, and that happens to be this knife right here. Now, I've had this knife ever since it came out, and I've kind of stopped using it only because I've upgraded to other knives that I've been using more, such as the OKC Bushcrafter, my Mora Garber, the Gerber Stone Arm. I've also got the Becker BK7 and 16, and then I've also got the Condor Pterosaur knife as well. And then of course I got the Camillus Full Tang knife, and then I've also got the Mora 2000. And the reason why I pretty much stopped using this knife is because, well, no reason. It's just that I think it's a great knife. I just haven't really used it. But let's go ahead and talk about this knife. So this is the Gerber Grylls Ultimate Pro Knife, and this is the sheath that it comes in. It's a pretty nice sheath. You've got a knife-sized belt loop on the side of on the knife right here. If I can get my... There we go. You can barely see my thumb. Hopefully you guys can see that. There we go. See? There's my thumb, and it's poking out. So that's your belt loop. On the inside of on the top of the knife here, you got a pull tab here, and in this pull tab it contains the Grylls Survival Guide. It's a very nice guide, by the way. Priorities of Survival. Then of course you got the knife itself. Comes out of the sheath very smoothly. Full tang construction all the way down from butt to tip. Very nice pummel, good for hammering tent stakes and nuts and wood, make it tender for fire. You got a very nice full tang. This is a full tang knife with a nice joint for up close and personal carving. You've also got a section of the open blade here that allows you to strike the ferro rod. The ferro rod that comes on this knife, not the best ferro rod. It's very small. There we go. If I can get it out. So as you can see, that's how the ferro rod looks. Very small, very dimsy, but it does do the job. So it's a pretty decent ferro rod. On the sheath, it does have a pull-through sharpener. So if I need to sharpen the knife while I'm in the field, I can. So it's a decent. The sheath itself is a decent sheath. Again, the only thing, my complaint is just the ferro rod. The ferro rod's small and dimsy. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but you get what you pay for. The nice thing about the Pro knife here too, especially with this sheath system, is that if you're right-hand carry, no problem. The sheath is ambidextrous, so for righties or lefties as well. Goes in the sheath pretty well. Does have a nylon strap to keep the knife strapped into into the sheath, but without it, it's not coming out. It's not coming out. There's no rattle whatsoever. So very nice. So I've had this knife for a long time. The only reason why I never did a review on it was because when I purchased other knives, I really didn't use this one this much. Oh, it's also got a whistle. Pretty decent. So the only reason why I haven't really talked about this knife is because, as I mentioned before, I do have other knives that I use, but this particular knife has actually kind of worked its way back into my life a little bit. I've been using this knife little by little, but now I actually keep this knife in the back of my vehicle as a vehicle knife in case something were to go wrong. So if I get stuck somewhere, or if I had to camp somewhere overnight, I can basically have this knife to help me process some firewood, maybe catch some game, cook some food. So all in all, it's a decent knife. Overall rating of the knife system of the knife itself, I definitely have to give this one at least a 9, because one, you got a straight edge blade, full straight edge blade. You got a striker to striker ferro rod, and this will work with any ferro rod, by the way. You got a very nice pommel, and it's full tang construction. And this was the first Gerber knife to ever come out that was full tang construction. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't think I've seen other Gerber knives with full tang construction. The sheath system itself, as I mentioned before, it's a decent sheath. Doesn't have a lot of stuff on it. You got a good sharpener to sharpen the knife for emergencies. The strap is okay. It is kind of starting to fray away just a little by little, but it's still holding its ground. And then the knife sits in there pretty well. And of course, you do have a spot here for the ferro rod. There we go. But it is kind of a pain in the butt to kind of take the ferro rod out. But if you take a little bit of sandpaper and kind of just like a little bit, rub the little knob right here that keeps the ferro rod in place here, it makes it a little bit easier to kind of come out. And also too, another thing you may not have noticed, but hopefully you guys can see that there is a black ring on the ferro rod, and what that does is that it helps to keep the water out. So again, pretty decent ferro rod. And then again, the knife itself, the sheath itself, designed for lefty righty. Obviously I'm a right-handed, so I'm going to go ahead and stick it back in here. I am working on another belt kit system that I'm going to be using for camping. I'm considering adding this knife into that belt carry system. It's either going to be this one, or I'll switch back and forth between this one and the I'll probably switch back and forth either between this one or even the Condor Pterosaur, or the other one too that I'm also considering of using too. I thought about going back to the Mora 2000, but the only problem I have with the Mora 2000 is that it doesn't, it's a partial tame, but it still holds its ground pretty well. My only problem is that it doesn't have a 90-degree spine, so I can strike a ferro rod. Now I could use the Mora Gardberg on this belt system I'm creating right now, but I don't want to use that belt. I don't want to use that knife on that belt system because I want to be able to use it on the other belt system that I introduced a while back. But all in all, though, the Grylls Ultimate Pro Knife, I actually do miss having this knife. Matter of fact, got a brand new pair of pants too I'm testing out as well. Not a huge fan of the belt that the pants come with, but as far as the knife is concerned, though, just so you guys can see like where it sits on my belt right now. Very nice knife. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video of the Grylls Ultimate Pro Knife. This was a video that was a long time coming. I do apologize for not getting out there in time, but I mean, I've had this knife for a couple of years now, for a little over, I think about a little over 10 years now, and it's still holding strong. I'm probably going to use this one on my new belt kit, maybe switch it back and forth between this one and the other ones. But once I finish establishing that belt kit, I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop with that. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. And don't forget to click on the bell icon to be notified of new videos. As always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Now go outside, have an adventure. See you later.